Hi everybody, it's back to school time. So guess what we have to start thinking about? Immune health. Doesn't help that right now we're dealing with COVID-19 and we are walking into the school season starting and college is starting, and some of these school systems don't even know if they're going to be able to continue to exist this year, if they're going to have to go fully online. I know they're going to start out being at school, but they're going to monitor the numbers and see what's going to happen as the year goes on. So it's really key, if you want your kids to keep going to school and to help those around you stay in school, is to focus on your immune health. The products that we carry in our office, they are tried and true and things that we have been using for years, so they are not new to us. I always tell people there's a couple things you can do. Is one, get a good night's sleep. If your kids love to stay up late, it's very important to start a good bedtime ritual. Have them starting to settle down for bed early. And even my high schoolers, believe it or not, I had my high schoolers in bed by 9 o'clock. That is like unheard of to most high schoolers. But guess what? If they go to bed early, they get up earlier, and they're definitely in a much better mood, and they definitely have better brain power to get through their day. A lot of times when you have a teenager who gets up and they're just crabby and snarky and they bite your head off and they're not in a great mood, it's usually because they didn't get enough sleep. Secondly is that monitor their cell phone usage. I have my teenagers shut off their phones or put them on airplane mode if they use them as their way to get up, as their alarm in the morning. So put them on airplane mode and shut off that Wi-Fi getting close to their head. Also, don't let them put them underneath their pillow and sleep with it next to their head, because that is really hard on the brain to have that Wi-Fi that close. So monitor how close that cell phone is to them, and then make sure that it is on airplane mode. A lot of times teenagers or young people will challenge us with their phones and put them back on in the middle of the night to be able to text. I do have some of my teenage clients who tell me they text till 1 in the morning. So I encourage you to be aware of how much they're using it and keep the Wi-Fi down. The Wi-Fi bothers the brain, and so that it can be hard to settle, especially if your teen or young person has trouble sleeping. It could just be the Wi-Fi. Another thing to do is to make sure they're getting plenty of water throughout the day and they're eating a good diet. Your diet is first and foremost for your immune health, keeping the sugars down. When we eat just a teaspoon of sugar, it can take down our immune system for up to 8 hours. So pops and candies and sugars, to keep those at a minimum. If you have kind of a junk foodaholic kid and you need to start making some changes, start slowly. Encourage them to walk with you into the grocery store and go into the produce section. A lot of times the produce section they've never really paid attention to because mom does the grocery shopping. I encourage every teen and young person to start buying food and being a part of that process, because then they'll take ownership in it. So I have them look at the area of the produce and look at the colors. And think of the colors as phytonutrients. So these are like your vitamins, because we should be using diet first and supplement second. So we only supplement where we have to. If they won't eat green leafy vegetables, no problem, we have a supplement for that. But I always encourage whole food supplements and not nutraceuticals. So they should be a whole food supplement if you choose one. Otherwise, have them look at the products that are in there and look at colors. Have them look at the red, greens, yellows, and pick colors for different phytonutrients, because those will boost different parts of our immune system. Also, a lot of times when we get them into that produce section, guess what they're going to do? They're going to gravitate towards the fruits, because the veggies aren't as sweet. So I always encourage people 2 vegetables to 1 fruit. Encourage your kids to start liking and enjoying vegetables, taking time to chew them. Sometimes you can find different kinds of peppers. I find that the longer peppers are the red, green, yellow. The longer ones tend to be sweeter than the bells. So again, teaching them how to create a palate to like those kinds of things. If they have to initially use some sauces, let them use a little bit of sauces to be able to get them to start eating something. But then eventually they might start moving away from that. Another thing you can do is start making some smoothies. But again, a lot of times I'm going to put a lot of yogurt and fruit in those, which again are high in sugars, which we don't want. We want some sugars in there, yes, for flavor, but we want some vegetables in there as well. So again, remember 2 veggies to 1 fruit. Another thing you can teach your child is how to be a good hand washer. It's extremely important for us to learn how to wash our hands appropriately. One is, I recommend just regular soap, not antibacterial soap, because antibacterial soap is actually hard on our immune system. And I know right now we're using a lot of antibacterials, but you're going to find out in the news already there's some challenges with using some of those antibacterials, and I encourage you to do a little bit of research. Some of them are actually contaminated with harmful products in them, and the FDA is pulling them off. So do some research and double check that. But again, washing hands, getting between the fingers. If they have long nails, use a nail brush, or encourage them to take one hand and get underneath these nails and clean them out, or scrub them into their palm of their hand, just kind of grind it in here. But you want to get underneath the nails and try to keep those nails clipped. Have them wash for about 30 seconds and then rinse and use a clean towel. To be able to get a nice amount of vitamin C in your body, the number one thing that has the highest C is grapefruit or citrus fruits. But amongst the citrus fruits, grapefruit is one of the highest. Broccoli, red bell peppers, or different colors of peppers are really, really helpful. Making sure that they get, again, like we said, get a good night's sleep is really, really helpful. And stay away from the sugars as much as possible. But I hope this is helpful. Find ways to keep stress down in life. Make sure you have conversations with your kids about bullies, people that are difficult to be with around school, because that constant stress is hard on our immune system as well. That means you're kind of always on high alert. So try to have those conversations if you can. If you have questions, always feel free to reach out to us, but I hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching.